All right, so in this video, we're going to show you how to ship an order. The first thing you do is you look at your shipping calendar, which is pre-filled out by the production coordinator or the production manager. And right now we're looking at Monday. Today is April 10th, Monday. Anything that is not green means that the shipment has not yet been completed. So we have one left for today, and it's the only one that's orange on Monday. So we're going to click on that. When you click on that, you have a lot of information on here. Most of it is just information that was copied and pasted from Run My Shop. Top left corner, you can see the order number, and then right after that is the client name, and after that is the shipping method that we're going to use. That will be specified usually by the sales rep. So this one here is listed as ground, which is just a standard ground shipment. So when we input this into UPS WorldShip, we're going to make sure it's on ground. And it also shows the due date of 4/13. So we're just going to make sure that it lands before or by that date. For this specific client, we ship items as they complete, even if it is before the due date. But not every client will allow us to ship items early, so if there's ever a question, we usually just reach out to them. And then if you look a little bit down, you'll see the actual shipping address, and that is what we're going to copy and paste into UPS WorldShip to make sure that we're shipping to the correct address. So here, when you open up UPS WorldShip, in the top left corner, there's going to be a button that says ship. You're going to click that. And really, at this point, now you're just going to copy and paste the following information into WorldShip from the shipping calendar. So first, we're going to copy the client name, or I'm sorry, contact name. That goes first, and that's going to be Erica Price, and it should populate an address that's already in there because we've been shipping to them pretty frequently. And you can see it pre-filled in, attention makers of magic and wishes. The address is already in there. I'm just gonna look and make sure that it's the same as what's in the shipping calendar. That looks correct. And then the postal code, which should typically, once you copy and paste the postal code in there, it should auto-populate the city and the state. And see here, it's Knoxville, Tennessee. And the email address is actually the sales rep within AKT Enterprises. They are gonna get an auto-generated tracking email tonight when all these packages are scanned at the UPS hub. Try to remember to update that email address to the correct rep, and you can usually find the rep by pulling up the order number in RMS, which we'll show you in another video. Okay, so now we're looking here at the UPS service. It's actually a drop-down bar. It's already defaulted to ground, so we're just going to make sure it stays on ground. You can see a bunch of other options in there, such as next day air, but usually those things have to be approved and or requested by the client because those shipping services will cost a bit more, and as long as they've agreed to those expedited shipping services, we're good. But for now, we're going to keep this as ground. All right, so delivery date, it shows here, April 12th. Our order says it needs to be there by the 13th. This client is okay with receiving items before the due date, as we mentioned before, so we are going to go ahead and ship these items, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we've actually already located the orders for Makers of Magic that are completed today. So far we've got 3 boxes, and this is going to go ground. So we're going to start by weighing and measuring the first box. So this scale here is linked to UPS WorldShip, and there you can actually see the weight. It's 14.6 pounds, and also we're going to look at WorldShip, make sure it's recording the correct amount. And in yellow, because we have the electronic scale button clicked, it's showing 14.6. So that's one good way to check to see if the package is actually registering on the scale. Just make sure that the number that's on that green LCD screen matches that yellow box in WorldShip, and it looks good. So at this point, all we need to do now is measure the box. All right, so we got 22 by 16 by 11. So we're just going to input those three things here into WorldShip. All right, and then for the reference number, we're going to go ahead and put actually the order number and client name. That's reference number 1. And then for number 2, we typically put the design name. So this one here is Harambe Tea. So that's what we're going to put as the reference number 2. This just helps us so that when we look up the items on UPS's tracking website, if for some reason a package does get misplaced or lost, we can kind of get an idea of, you know, what design is missing or what contents are in that box. And then now, before we weigh the next box, there's a little button here. Can you move that mouse around just a little bit? It's add. So we're basically going to add that box to the shipment, and then we're going to weigh the next box. All right, make sure that number changes to 2, which means now we're going to work on package number 2. So this box has now been weighed, measured, and it's saved into the system. We're going to put it here in queue, because once we finish processing this shipment, all 3 labels are going to print, and then we're going to attach them to the boxes. When you're doing a shipment that has multiple boxes, you do want to make sure to keep your boxes in order, because that first box that we just weighed and measured will become box number 1 when the labels print. So he's got this second box on the scale. He's going to measure it. This one's slightly bigger box. All right, what measurements did you get? 24, 18, 15. Oh, sorry, 13. And the weight here says 29.2. It matches what's in WorldShip. And then once again, we're going to make sure that reference number 2 says Epcot Sketch, because that's the design that's listed on this box. And then add is the button that saves this information in. So now that box is done. We're going to put it in queue right here. So we got box number 1 on the left, box number 2 on the right, and then he's going to do box number 3 now. This one here seems to be the same box size as the previous box, so we can go ahead and put the same measurements, and the weight will automatically populate 24.7. That will automatically populate in WorldShip. So now he's just entering reference number 2 also as Epcot Sketch, because there's more in this box as well. And then, last but not least, you're going to hit the blue button on the bottom right that says Process Shipment. That will automatically tell UPS to charge the rates and print the label. All right, so go ahead and press that. And the labels will come out down here in order, making sure that we're putting each label. I just want to show you a close-up of it. On the top right corner, you'll see the box number. It says 1 of 3. That's going to go on the first small box that we measured out. And then the one that says 2 is going to go on the second box. And then, of course, the label that says 3 is going to go on this last third box that we had weighed out. And we usually put the labels in the top right corner just to keep it a little bit neat and uniform. So now he's going to apply the rest of those labels. And after that, you place these on the truck. These are regular ground shipments. So anything ground can go into our UPS trailer starting from the back of the trailer. We usually reserve the front of the trailer for any next day air shipments, and that's a request by UPS. So for example, we leave a little space here in the front just in case we have any shipments that are specifically for next day air. They're going to sit here up in the front because when those boxes get unloaded, they're actually the first ones that get taken off the trailer, and then they go onto an airplane for the next day delivery date. But yeah, that's about it.